or waiting for the perfect moment. This is someone who has already decided quietly and completely and is now moving toward making it real. The Ace of Cups is the first card on the table, and it is one of the most powerful opening cards this reading could have drawn. The Ace of Cups marks the exact moment a feeling tips over, the moment something that has been held internally becomes too full to hold anymore. This person has reached that point with you. What they carry has been building steadily, becoming heavier and more certain with every passing week. The feeling behind what they are about to do is not new, it is not impulsive, it did not arrive last week and immediately push them into action. It has been developing quietly, deepening without them even trying to deepen it, becoming more layered the longer you have been in their life. The Knight of Wands arrives as the second card, and this card carries a very specific momentum. The Knight of Wands does not hesitate at the threshold. He does not prepare and reconsider and prepare again. He moves with direction and with real heat behind the movement toward what he wants. This person is in that exact energy right now, finished deliberating, done sitting with it privately, actively closing the distance between where things are and where they want them to be. The intention behind the asking is not performance. It is not calculated. It is not designed to produce a particular result. It carries the warmth of someone who genuinely cannot imagine staying quiet any longer, who has arrived at the place where saying nothing feels worse than the vulnerability of speaking. The Sun card is the third, and its presence here is one of the most affirming things this reading could offer. The Sun is not a card of complication. It does not carry conditions or reservations or the weight of someone who loves with one foot already out. It is open, warm, and entirely glad. The card of someone who's feeling for you does not come with anything attached to the back of it. What they are bringing to you is not the kind of love that requires circumstances to align before it shows up fully. It is present, steady, and genuine in the ordinary moments, not only the impressive ones. The Sun also speaks to how they see you specifically, not as a project, not as someone to be won, but as someone whose presence in their life lights something in them that was simply not lit before. They are not asking you out because the timing happened to work, or because something about the situation made it convenient. They're asking because the thought of not asking, of letting this stay exactly where it is, has become something they cannot live with. There is also a quality of calm in this energy that I want to name, because it is different from the nervous charge of someone taking a risk. This is the specific calm of someone who is certain enough in what they feel that the asking does not frighten them. It simply feels like the next honest thing to do. The three cards together are not showing someone in the process of falling for you. They are showing someone who has already landed fully and without reservation. What is coming is not the beginning of their feeling. It is simply the moment they stop keeping it to themselves. The Ace of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Sun in combination are telling me that what is coming toward you is not complicated. It is not a situation that requires careful reading or cautious response. It is someone with genuine feeling, real momentum, and clean intention moving directly toward you. The depth of what they feel is something the cards keep returning to because it is not surface level, not situational, not dependent on things going a particular way. It has roots, quiet and deep roots, that grew without announcement while you were simply being yourself around them. The specific thing that pushed them from feeling to action is not a grand moment, not a revelation, but the simple accumulation of time spent knowing you and finding, each time that what they feel does not diminish. It grows quietly and without drama every single time. What they are about to offer you is not a gamble. It is not a leap of faith into the unknown. It is the honest expression of something they have known for a while now, something they are simply finally ready to say out loud. The cards are asking you to receive it fully, without reducing it, without second guessing what it means, without waiting for something to go wrong before you let yourself believe it. Because what is coming is real, it is rooted, and it is entirely meant for you. Now we sit with your side of this, with what you have been carrying, and with what it means to be the person this is coming toward. There is something in your energy that the cards picked up immediately, something that explains why this person is moving toward you the way they are. The High Priestess is the first card showing for you, and she is not subtle about what she is naming. She is the card of someone who knows things before they are proven, who senses the truth of a situation before the evidence fully arrives, who operates from a deep interior knowing that does not require external confirmation to be certain. You have been sensing this person's feeling for you quietly, in the specific way of someone who notices things without announcing that they notice. You may have told yourself you were reading into it, may have talked yourself back from the edge of that knowing more than once, but the High Priestess says the knowing was accurate the entire time. Your intuition about this connection has not been wrong, it has been right. And what is coming is simply the world catching up to what part of you already understood. The Three of Cups arrives as the second card, and this one is carrying something lighter than anything else in this reading so far. The Three of Cups is joy that gets shared, connection that spills out into the open, the specific warmth of something moving from private to celebrated. This card is showing me that what is coming with the asking is not just the asking itself, it is an invitation into something that has more room in it than you might expect. This person does not want to keep what they feel in a small and private place. They want to bring you into their world, into the texture of their actual life, not as a guest, but as someone who belongs there. The Three of Cups also speaks to how your energy lands on the people around you, and it is telling me that you bring something with you that genuinely enlivens the spaces you enter. This person has felt the specific way a room changes when you are in it, felt the way their own mood shifts when you are nearby, and they want more of it deliberately and consistently. The Page of Cups comes in as the third card, and this card carries a tenderness that I want to name carefully. The Page of Cups is someone whose feeling is genuine and unguarded, someone who has not yet learned to protect their heart from showing, someone who approaches love with a sincerity that has not been hardened by disappointment. Whatever this person has been through before, what they are bringing to you right now is undefended, offered with both hands, without the careful management of someone who has decided in advance how much to reveal. They are not playing a role here. They are not following a strategy. They are simply and completely in their feeling, and they want you to know it. There is a vulnerability in this card that the reading is asking you to honor, because what is being offered to you is not a calculated move. It is a genuine and somewhat exposed act of someone saying, "Here is what I feel. Here is who I am when I am honest. Here is what I want." The Page of Cups also speaks to the quality of love this person intends to bring, not the complicated kind that arrives with conditions and scorecards, but something more open than that, more willing to simply be present without an agenda underneath the presence. The High Priestess, the Three of Cups, and the Page of Cups together are telling me something clear about what this moment asks of you. Your intuition has been tracking this correctly. The joy that is coming is real and worth opening to, and what is being offered has a sincerity behind it that deserves to be received without reduction. The question the cards are sitting with on your behalf is not whether this is real. They are not uncertain about that. The question is whether you are willing to let it arrive without keeping one part of yourself at a cautious distance from it. There is also something the cards are pointing to about your own readiness beneath whatever uncertainty has been sitting at the surface. The High Priestess does not appear for someone who is confused. She appears for someone who knows, someone carrying the knowing carefully and waiting for the world to catch up. You are more ready for this than you may be allowing yourself to feel. The Three of Cups is asking you to let the lightness of what is coming land without immediately surrounding it with caution. This is one of those moments that is allowed to simply feel good without the particular habit of waiting for the other shoe. The reading is not asking you to abandon your discernment. It is asking you to trust what your discernment has already told you. This person is real, their feeling is real, and what they are about to offer is worth stepping toward with your full self. Now we turn fully to their side, to what has been happening inside this person, and to the specific feelings that are pushing them toward asking you. Because the asking does not come from nowhere, it comes from somewhere very specific. And the cards are ready to show us exactly where. The Two of Cups is the first card showing for them, and this card is one of the most direct recognition cards this deck carries. The Two of Cups is not about attraction in the surface sense. It is not about finding someone appealing or interesting or worth pursuing. It is about recognition, about two people looking at each other and seeing something that goes beyond the obvious, something that registers before the mind has the language to describe it. This person experienced that with you, a moment or a series of moments where something in them became very still and very certain at the same time, where all the usual noise in their head, all the second guessing and the self-protective hesitation went quiet. What was left in that quiet was a clarity that did not ask for permission or debate. It simply arrived and stayed. They have been sitting with that clarity since, not as something uncertain or needing to be examined further, but as something settled, something they return to and find unchanged each time. The Seven of Pentacles comes in as the second card, and this card is showing me something about the particular quality of how this person has been watching you. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of patient and attentive observation of someone who is willing to take their time to gather evidence to understand something fully before they act on it. This person has been paying close attention to you, not in an intrusive or obsessive way, but in the quiet and respectful way of someone who genuinely wants to understand who you are rather than who they want you to be. They have noticed things about you that you probably do not know they have noticed. Small things. The way you respond when something catches you off guard. The way you treat people who have nothing to offer you. The way your energy changes when you are talking about something that genuinely matters to you. All of that observation has only deepened what they feel, because what they have seen while paying that close attention is someone who is exactly what they appeared to be: consistent, real, worth the time and the attention. The Seven of Pentacles also tells me that what they are about to offer is not an impulse. It is the result of patient consideration of someone who arrived at a conclusion they fully trust. The King of Cups arrives as the third card, and his presence here is one of the most significant things this reading has shown me. The King of Cups is a person who loves from a place of emotional maturity, not from nettiness, not from the frantic energy of someone who wants to fill a space inside themselves, but from genuine and settled warmth. This is the card of someone who knows how to hold space for another person, who does not make their love a burden to carry, who shows up consistently without requiring constant reassurance in return. The intention behind the asking, the deeper intention that lives beneath the gesture, is to offer you something steady. Not just the excitement of being asked, not just the flattery of being wanted, but the particular and sustaining warmth of someone who intends to show up for you over time. In the real texture of ordinary life, the King of Cups feels things deeply, more deeply than he usually shows. And what he carries for you has a quality of depth that the asking alone will not fully communicate. There is more behind it than what gets said in the moment, more that will reveal itself over time, more that he is already committed to giving you. The Two of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Cups together are describing a person who recognized something real in you, took their time to understand it fully, and is now ready to offer it back with the steadiness of someone who knows how to love well. The cards are not showing someone who will ask and then disappear, or who will be intense for a season and then pull back. They are showing someone with staying power, someone whose feeling is rooted enough to sustain what comes after the asking. There is one more thing the cards are naming, something that runs through the entire energy of their side of this reading. This person is not afraid of the depth of what they feel, not bracing against where this could go, if you say yes. What they are bringing to the moment of asking is the full version of what they feel without the hedging of someone who is already managing the possibility of disappointment. He does not love in half measures, and he is not going to ask in half measures either. What is coming towards you is whole, honest, and carried with enough genuine care that it has become something solid. Key 4, now we look at what is actually about to happen at the specific shape of how this person moves toward you and at what changes when they do. The Chariot is the first card in this position, and it is one of the most decisive cards this deck carries. The Chariot is not a card of someone who might do something, or who is considering doing something, or who wants to do something when the timing feels right. It is the card of someone already in motion, directed, and committed, moving toward a specific destination with the particular focus of a person who has made a choice and is honoring it. This person is in that motion right now. The internal debate is finished, the hesitation has been set aside, and what remains is the clean and forward energy of someone who knows where they are going. The asking is not waiting for perfect conditions. It is something this person is carrying into whatever the next interaction looks like. They are not waiting for a sign. They are not hoping for an opening. They are creating one because the decision has already been made, and the only remaining step is the speaking of it. The Four of Cups reversed arrives as the second card, and this card is showing me something specific about the shift that has happened in this person recently. The Four of Cups upright is a card of someone who is withdrawn, sitting with their own interior, not quite ready to engage with what is being offered from the outside. Reversed, it describes the opposite motion entirely, someone who has lifted their gaze, who has moved out of their own head and back into genuine engagement with the world and the people in it. This person was in a period of quiet before you, perhaps without fully knowing it. A period where things felt a little flat, where connection felt effortful, where they were going through the motions without feeling particularly pulled toward anything. You changed that. Your present shifted something in how they experienced their own days, introduced a quality of genuine interest and aliveness that they had not felt in a while. The Four of Cups reversed says that shift is why the asking feels so necessary to them, because you are the thing that woke something up, and they are not willing to let that go without doing something about it. The Nine of Wands reversed comes in as the third card, and this one is carrying something important about what this person has had to move through internally to get to this moment. The Nine of Wands upright is a card of someone guarded, someone standing at the boundary of their own limits, someone who has been through enough that they approach new things with their defenses already raised. Reversed, it is the card of those defenses coming down, of someone choosing to lower the protection that has been keeping them at a distance from what they actually want. This person has had reasons to be cautious, reasons they have probably not shared with you, reasons that have made them slower to act than the feeling itself warranted. The Nine of Wands reversed says they have decided that what they feel for you is worth the specific risk of being unguarded, worth the vulnerability of asking and not knowing the answer in advance. That is not a small thing. That is someone making a conscious choice to be brave about something that matters to them, choosing what they want over the safety of staying exactly where they are. The Chariot, the Four of Cups reversed, and the Nine of Wands reversed together are showing me a person who has moved through real internal territory to arrive at this moment, who woke up from a quiet period, lowered defenses that have been up for a reason, and is now moving with full commitment toward asking you something that carries genuine weight for them. The asking itself, when it comes, will feel different from the casual version of someone asking someone out. It will carry the particular seriousness of something that has been considered something that matters, something offered by a person who does not do things like this lightly and is doing it now because they have decided you are worth it. There is also something underneath all three of these cards that speaks to the timing and why it is happening now. This person has been carrying what they feel for a while, and there were moments where they almost said something, almost closed the distance. Each time, something held them back, not doubt about the feeling, but the caution of someone who does not want to mishandle something that genuinely matters. What changed is not the feeling. What changed is their relationship to the risk of expressing it. They arrived at the place where staying silent costs more than being vulnerable, where keeping this inside feels like the larger loss. What is coming is not a casual ask. It is an act of genuine courage from someone who has decided you are worth being brave for. This is the part where we go beneath the surface of everything, beneath what has been shown and what has been expressed, into the territory of what this person has never said out loud. The moon is the first card in this position, and she illuminates exactly what lives in the unguarded interior of this person when no one is watching. The moon is not interested in what people present. She is interested in what is actually true, in the private and unmanaged version of someone that only surfaces in the quiet. What I see in this person's quiet is you, not occasionally, not when something reminds them, but as a presence that has become woven into how they move through their days. They think about you in the ordinary moments, not just the significant ones, in the small gaps between things, in the few minutes before they fall asleep, in the middle of conversations that have nothing to do with you. They have not told you that. They have not said that you occupy that kind of space in their mind. But the moon is saying it clearly, and it is one of the most intimate confessions this card can carry. There's also something physical in this card that the moon does not let pass without naming. This person is aware of you in a way that goes beyond thought, more instinctive, the kind that registers your proximity before anything cognitive has caught up. That physical awareness is something they have not spoken about, but it is real, and it has been quietly building. The Five of Swords reverse arrives as the second card, and this card is carrying a confession about something this person released internally before they were ready to say anything out loud. There was a story they were telling themselves about why this could not work, or why now was not the right time, or why the risk was too large relative to what they might lose. That story has been set down, not because the risk disappeared, but because the feeling became more compelling than the protection the story was offering. The Five of Swords reversed is telling me that this person has already done the hardest internal work. They have already argued themselves out of the argument against moving toward you. What they have never told you is how long that internal conversation took, how many times they talked themselves back from the edge of doing something about what they feel. And what they have also never said is what finally settled it, which was not a decision made from logic or calculation, but simply the recognition that they could not keep not doing something, that staying in place had started to feel like its own kind of loss. The Queen of Wands comes in as the third card, and her appearance in the position of hidden confession is telling me something specific about how this person sees you. The Queen of Wands is magnetic. She is the card of someone who commands attention without asking for it, who brings warmth and life and a particular energy into whatever space she inhabits. This person sees you as that, not as someone performing charisma, but as someone who genuinely carries that quality, who lights something up simply by being present. What they have never said is how much that quality of yours has affected them, how it stays with them after you have left the room, how it has made every other option feel less vivid by comparison. They have not said that you have raised the bar for what they are willing to settle for, that being around you has made ordinary feel less acceptable, that you have changed what they want simply by showing them that it exists. The moon, the Five of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Wands together are painting a picture of someone carrying far more than they have shown you. More physical awareness than they have named, more internal conversation than they have revealed, more admiration for who you are than they have found the words for. The confession underneath all three of these cards is this: they are not asking you out simply because they like you. They are asking because you have made them want something they did not know they were missing, and they have decided they are not willing to walk away from that without at least trying. There is one final layer underneath all of this, something that sits beneath even the confessions already named. This person is quietly aware of how rare you are, aware in the specific way of someone who has been paying close enough attention to understand that what you bring is not easily encountered again. That awareness is part of what has made them careful, not wanting to mishandle something they have decided matters. The thing they most want to say and have not yet found the moment for is not complicated. It is simply that you have changed what they want their life to feel like, and they want you in it not as a distant possibility, but as something real and present and genuinely chosen. We have reached the final part of this reading, and before the closing cards come through, I want to sit with everything that has been confirmed. Someone is moving toward you with genuine feeling, real intention, and the specific courage of a person who has decided you are worth being honest with. They have been carrying this for longer than they have shown, building toward this moment with the patience of someone who wanted to get it right. The Ten of Cups is the first card in this closing position, and it is one of the most wholehearted outcome cards this deck carries. The Ten of Cups is not a card of potential. It is not a card of something that might become beautiful if conditions align correctly. It is the card of emotional fullness of something that has already found its shape, of a connection that carries real happiness at its center. The near future this card is pointing to is not complicated or conditional. It is warm, it is mutual, and it has the quality of something that sustains rather than something that burns bright and then fades. What is coming with this person is not the intense and exhausting version of love that requires constant maintenance. It is the version that makes ordinary days feel like enough, that adds a quality of warmth to the texture of regular life. The Ten of Cups is also speaking to the specific nature of what this person intends. Their feeling for you is not transactional, not designed to get something, not going to change the moment they have what they came for. It is oriented toward genuine happiness, toward something shared and reciprocal, toward a version of the future that has room for both of you to be fully yourselves inside it. The Six of Wands arrives as the second card, and this card is carrying something affirming specifically about you in this moment. The Six of Wands is the card of someone who is seen, genuinely and publicly seen, whose presence and value are acknowledged without them having to argue for it. This card is telling me that what is coming is not just the asking, it is the beginning of someone consistently showing you that you matter to them in ways that are visible and real rather than private and assumed. This person intends to make it clear, not just in the moment of asking, but in how they show up afterward, that choosing you is something they are proud of and not going to be quiet about. The Six of Wands in this position is also confirming something about the energy you carry. The reading keeps returning to the specific quality of your presence, to the way you affect the spaces and people around you. And this card is naming that as something this person recognizes and is drawn toward in a way they cannot fully articulate but have stopped trying to resist. The World card closes this reading as the final card, and its presence here is extraordinary. The World is the card of completion, of a cycle arriving at its fullest and most realized expression, of something that has been moving toward a destination finally arriving there. In this position, at the close of a reading about someone asking you out with love and real intention, the World is saying that what is coming is not a beginning that might lead somewhere meaningful. It is a beginning that is already complete in the sense that matters most. It carries within it everything needed for what it wants to become. The guidance this reading closes with is gentle, and it is this: let yourself be fully present for what is coming without the particular habit of holding some part of yourself in reserve until you are certain it is safe. This person is not a risk to manage carefully. They are someone who has already done their own work, who has already made their own decision, who is coming to you with something whole. What they are offering deserves to be received with the same quality of presence and openness that drew them to you in the first place. Thank you for being here for this reading. If something in here resonated, leave it in the comments below. It genuinely means everything. Like and subscribe if you are new. There is so much more coming your way. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. The World appearing here is not only about what is coming in this connection, It is also about where you are in your own life right now. There is a version of you arriving alongside this, more settled in your own worth, more willing to receive without immediately questioning whether you deserve it. That version has been growing through everything you have navigated, and the cards are naming this moment as part of its arrival. You have moved through enough to arrive here, and what is waiting on the other side of the asking is something your whole self is already prepared for. Let it come, let it land, and let yourself be as present for it as it deserves. And before the closing cards come through, I want to sit with everything that has been confirmed. Someone is moving toward you with genuine feeling, real intention, and the specific courage of a person who has decided you are worth being honest with. They have been carrying this for longer than they have shown, building toward this moment with the patience of someone who wanted to get it right. The Ten of Cups is the first card in this closing position, and it is one of the most wholehearted outcome cards this deck carries. The Ten of Cups is not a card of potential. It is not a card of something that might become beautiful if conditions align correctly. It is the card of emotional fullness of something that has already found its shape, of a connection that carries real happiness at its center. The near future this card is pointing to is not complicated or conditional. It is warm, it is mutual, and it has the quality of something that sustains rather than something that burns bright and then fades. What is coming with this person is not the intense and exhausting version of love that requires constant maintenance. It is the version that makes ordinary days feel like enough, that adds a quality of warmth to the texture of regular life. The Ten of Cups is also speaking to the specific nature of what this person intends. Their feeling for you is not transactional, not designed to get something, not going to change the moment they have what they came for. It is oriented toward genuine happiness, toward something shared and reciprocal, toward a version of the future that has room for both of you to be fully yourselves inside it. The Six of Wands arrives as the second card. And this card is carrying something affirming specifically about you in this moment. The Six of Wands is the card of someone who is seen, genuinely and publicly seen, whose presence and value are acknowledged without them having to argue for it. This card is telling me that what is coming is not just the asking, it is the beginning of someone consistently showing you that you matter to them in ways that are visible and real rather than private and assumed. This person intends to make it clear, not just in the moment of asking, but in how they show up afterward, that choosing you is something they are proud of and not going to be quiet about. The Six of Wands in this position is also confirming